John Quincy Adams once said, and I quote, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, and do more and become more, you are a leader." Good evening, fellow members of District 121, and a warm welcome to the introductory session of LEAP 3.0, Leadership Empowerment and Advancement Program. Well, it's the third year, and hence we have 3.0. LEAP is that platform which is a springboard for leadership, where ordinary members like you and I will take extraordinary strides. Tonight, let us understand this program that I'm sure will help us understand how we can invest in ourselves to lead with impact, clarity, and courage. As we begin this session, I hope you are seated in a peaceful environment and you have good internet connectivity so you can hear us throughout. And I'd also like to remind you to stay on mute unless you are required to speak. We encourage all of you to come on video so that you can enjoy and learn from this session together. Now, to officially set the tone for this powerful evening, it is my honor to introduce to you a leader who perfectly embodies his chosen theme of clarity, community, and commitment. Clarity in vision, community in action, and commitment in execution. These three pillars define our district director. Whether it is guiding District 121 towards newer milestones this year or creating a culture of accountability and growth, he is a leader who leads by example and uplifts those around him. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and friends, please put your hands together and warmly welcome our District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Gokul P. Menon, to address the audience.
Hello, members of District 121. So good to see all of you on a Tuesday evening, all set to learn more about Leap 3.0. It fills me with a lot of excitement and happiness, both of these emotions together, because this is the very first time that we are experimenting something like an introductory session for the Scala program that we are coming up with from District 121 called Leap 3.0. Before I dive in deep about the program, let me tell you a personal experience that probably helped me understand how important such an initiative is. Many years back, about a decade back, when I joined Toastmasters, I was this reluctant member who did not even want to take up speech slots, let alone take up leadership roles at the club level. The very first role that I took up was that of the sergeant at arms, and that was after a lot of push from my club members. Trust me, I was never ready. And I was trying to see if there is someone else who could take that role up. After the very first time, the service that I had rendered then for 6 months as a sergeant at arms, I was motivated by my mentor to take up further leadership roles at the club level. I did so, and that gave me confidence and a belief that leadership is something that will help you experience a lot of emotions, including failures occasionally. But it's all about learning and making those corrections, proceeding in the right path, and achieving excellence. I finished my president's term as a president's distinguished club president, then was motivated to go up in the district leadership ladder. But trust me, the very first time I applied as an area director, I got rejected. Because there were twice the number of AD applications then as compared to open positions. Years followed. I was given the opportunity to serve as an area director. My journey then continued from area director to division director, district administration manager, conference chair, club row director, program quality director, and now your district director. What am I trying to tell you through this? Leap 3.0 was carefully designed to help you understand and help you shape yourself as a leader. And trust me, this is not just leadership within Toastmasters. This is about leadership outside of Toastmasters as well. Jyotika fondly says this. This is an MBA program that Harvard or Edinburgh University would give you at a ransom price, but District 121 Toastmasters International is going to give you this free of cost. More details will come from our lead chair, but thank you so much to the entire lead team headed by Jyotika and very well supported by Ramya, Daryl, and Renu for coming up with this wonderful idea. Because trust me, when you go through this, what I call metamorphosis, you will realize what are the skills that you have learned and how well this is applicable within and outside of Toastmasters. After the end of the program, you will evolve as a true leader, a leader at par with any leader that you can think of, because that's how the program is curated. All the very best to the potential leapers that will join the program. And all the very best to all of you in your leadership journey, because leadership is an experience that I'm sure everyone will enjoy because it involves making a positive impact on people around you. Thank you so much, Jyotika and the team, for giving me this opportunity. Back to you to take this forward.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Gokul. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Thank you very much, Gokul, for your inspiring words. And I think it reminds us all of the quote that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And that exactly, dear friends, is what Leap 3.0 is all about. We have four letters, LEAP, and I'd like to say it's learning, evolving, achieving, and progressing together. Now, our next speaker, in fact, is our Leap 3.0 chair, and she is the perfect embodiment of servant leadership because she is a builder of leaders and institutions. Her 12-year Toastmasters journey started in District 105, where she rose from the club president to the district administration manager. She has also served as area director and division director and achieved president's distinguished status during both terms. But her real legacy is chartering five clubs, four of them in District 121, and each of them unique in their own way. Karavali Toastmasters, the first trilingual club in District 121. Let's Debate Toastmasters, the first debate focused club in District 121. Coastal Levers Toastmasters, the first all ladies club in Mangalore. And Champion Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club, the first evaluation focused club in District 121. The reason I said all this is unique is because Leap 3.0 is also going to be unique. Beyond her leadership titles, she is a mother of three, an author of two books, and a professional public speaking coach. As the chair of Leap 3.0, I'm sure she'll continue to inspire, empower, and transform lives. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and friends, it is my privilege to invite, and with a huge round of applause, let us welcome our Leap 3.0 chair, distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty.
Thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you very much. That was such a beautiful introduction. I think it'll help me for the next 1 hour that I'm going to take. I'm not going to take that. A very good evening to all the leaders present here and the future leapers present here. How are we doing? Excited? You know, one disclaimer before we start, or one announcement before we start. Put in the chat box as much as possible. Try to communicate through the chat box. Put in your comments. We'd love to hear from you so we can keep it as engaging as possible whenever we can. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right, great. Respected District Director, thank you very much for that lovely motivational speech or your address, because I was surprised when you said that your mentor motivated you to take the role, because for me, my experience was a little different. I had no choice but to take the role. So I'll talk about it a little later as we go along. But thank you very much for allowing us to make LEAP what it is. And we really look forward to presenting a beautiful program. Now, my plan was a little different. The way I wanted to start the meeting was a little different. But what happened yesterday night is what made me change my plans. And I really want to narrate this incident, what happened, because it has a lot to do with what I'm going to speak. That is leadership. If there's one word that you all will hear a lot, is leadership throughout this program. Now, my daughter, she studies in Manipal here in Mangalore. She's an engineering student. Now, yesterday, around 6 o'clock, I receive a call from her saying that from the emergency room from the hospital. And she says, two of her friends have met with an accident, out of which one of the girl was pretty traumatized because she had a fractured lower jaw. She lost her front tooth and she was in a bad shape. Now, the girls, the first thing they did was they called my daughter. They just asked her to come to the hospital and she rushed. She just called me to tell me this is what has happened, mom. So just keeping you informed. I was like, okay. Around 10 o'clock, she calls me again. Or in that four hours that she was there in the hospital, along with another friend of hers, she took care of all the coordination with the doctors, with her parents who were in Delhi and were really panicking. And everything that she could do during that time, her friend and her handled it well. Around 10 o'clock or around 9 o'clock, she called me and she said that the parents have decided her to shift from Manipal to Mangalore because they were not happy with the way they were dealing with the student in Manipal. Being a mother, the first thing that I told her was, what she said was, we are arranging for an ambulance. Do I have the permission to go in the ambulance to Mangalore? So the first thing, as a mother, I said, is it really necessary for you to be in the ambulance? Because she's never been in that ambulance and I didn't want her to get that overwhelming experience. And she replied, I've been here for the past 4 to 5 hours, mom. She's going to be alone traveling with the other boy there. She has no girlfriends here in the vehicle. And I'd like to accompany her and help her get admitted in Mangalore. I don't know whether I was ashamed, whether I was guilty, whether I was proud. I don't know what it was, but I had a sense of pride. I gave her the permission and she brought the girl to Mangalore in an ambulance, got her admitted. At 11:30, she sends me a message and says, Mom, I'm here in the hospital. You can now come and pick me up. I went and picked her up and rest is history. And as we speak, the girl is getting operated. Now, why I'm saying this is that she probably did not know she was demonstrating her leadership skills. And probably you and me, all of us would have done the same at this point in time. But it really made me so proud is because there was one, just the previous day, that was on Sunday, we had a club officers training here in Mangalore, and I gave a training on high performing clubs. And there was one slide which our program quality director Safir Aziz had included in the presentation, and it was a last slide, which I actually overlooked. It's not overlooked. I actually kind of ignored it because it was a last slide and I didn't have much time. And I'm going to show you that slide now. Just give me a moment. And he had this quote. Safir had this quote, which was the last quote in the presentation. Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. And while this incident happened, my daughter and the other student had exactly done what this quote had mentioned. It's just that I didn't speak about this quote, but this is what leadership is all about. Taking care of those in your charge. But the question to you today is, do you really know what it takes to take care of those in your charge? Let's find out. I love this quote again because this kind of encapsulates the entire essence of Toastmasters by Jack Welch, where he says, before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. If you look at your own Toastmasters journey, it's exactly the same. And I think the entire metamorphosis that we go through in Toastmasters is this. We start off as something, we start off taking care of our own self, our own growth, and over a period of time or in the process, we realize that success is all about growing others. while we are taking leadership roles or we are taking as mentors, we understand this very well. And I'd like to show you this small visual representation of our metamorphosis in Toastmasters. We start off as members, we become officers, where we realize that the true leadership, we get a taste of leadership here, where we start learning the meaning of servant leadership, and then we become mentors. But for some, mentors could probably come earlier than officers because some of them think that being a leader is not their cup of tea, and that's how they procrastinate. But whatever it is, or whichever order it is, finally we all become leaders. Now, initially in 2014, when I started off my journey in Toastmasters, in 6 months' time, I was made the secretary of the club. I wasn't ready at all. Honestly, I had no clarity of what I was getting into, but I got into it. I did a fairly decent job, and but with a lot of resistance. I wasn't really fully willing to take up this position. So they gave me another gift. They really understood my plight, and they made me the president of the club the very next year because they said they saw something in me. But the problem was I could not figure out what was that something they saw in me. I was trying to figure out what is it that I'm supposed to do. Now, I did a pretty decent job, and I probably think that some of you may resonate. And if you do, please write in the chat box if you've been in a situation like me where you've been given an officer role that you were not prepared for. Ramya, you could probably, I cannot see the chat. So if you can please tell me what the responses are. Please feel free to write in the chat box if you've been in a similar situation like me, where you've been made an officer when you were not prepared for. Please feel free to write, and Renu or Daryl can please look at the chat box and let me know.
So Anmol says, yes, definitely wasn't ready for my first leadership role.
All right. But they say they saw something in me. Sorry? All right. So I think most of us have been in the situation where we are not prepared, but then we've taken it. But then at that time, I realized, and more now that I'm in the LEAP team, I really wonder, was it the right way for me to do it? But I'm really thankful for whoever made me that, gave me those positions or was elected, gave me the roadmap or not the roadmap, or at least pushed me into that position, because that was indeed the turning point for me. But it took me a lot of time to reach where I reached and do the other positions. So I was just wondering, what if someone had given me a roadmap at that time? Clarity, confidence, and purpose. Probably I would have done a much better job. I would have also understood that leadership is not just for Toastmasters. Leadership is also something that will help me in my professional life, my personal life, my social life, and so many other places. So this is where the story of LEAP begins. LEAP is your roadmap to giving you clarity, confidence, and purpose as a leader. So next time you want to take your leadership position or being a leader, not only at the club level, even at the higher level, you know what you're getting into. You'll be prepared to get into it. You'll have much clarity. And most importantly, you'll have a purpose. Today, if I ask myself, when I lead or when I do what I do in Toastmasters, there's a purpose behind everything I do. And I think that is what is important when leaders become leaders. So let me ask you a question, and I want most of you or all of you to answer this question. It doesn't have to be, please don't go to ChatGPT or Google to find out the answer, because that's not required. What is the difference between a leader and leadership? And it's very important you answer this question. What is the difference between a leader and leadership? There's no right or wrong answer. Whatever you think, because you've all experienced in some way or the other, you may have not necessarily taken the leadership position.
Basi Bharadwaj has raised his hand. He wants to speak, I guess.
We'll speak towards the end. We'll keep
Yeah,
that,
all right.
whatever it is, you can put it in the chat box. What is the difference between a leader and leadership? I think at this stage, I'll
We
ask you
have a
all
lot
a
of
question.
responses coming, so
All right, great. I'm seeing the chat box. Okay. All right, okay. Wasn't ready, fine, okay. Okay. There are a lot of responses here, a lot of response, and I'm glad you're engaging here. But let me ask you a question. How many of you have already taken club officer roles here? You're currently club officers, past club officers, whatever it is. You could just raise your hand and let me know how many of you have already taken club officer roles. Okay.
We have more than 15 people who says yes.
All right, great. We have 91 in the room, and we have about 20 people, I think, who 15 to 20 of you.
Plus.
Yeah. So not even 50%, but it's great to know at least 20 of you have already taken leadership roles. So yeah, very good, excellent. Great. All right, great. Okay, fine. It's perfectly all right now. I think we can now move forward. Now, so some of you are probably talking from your experience, and some of you are probably inquisitive to understand or know what exactly leadership is. So we'll now go a little bit more in detail what leader and leadership is. And I'm not going to give you some chat GPT or some kind of big answer to what this is, leader and leadership. It's a very simple and a very crisp answer to what leader is. Leader is a person, you and me. We are leaders. Someone who wants to make a difference, someone who wants to influence, someone who wants to guide, mentor, anything. A leader is a person. And a leadership is a process. It's a mindset. It's or quality. Your ability to create that difference, make an influence, be an influence to someone else, guide them. So it is the process. And this is exactly where LEAP comes into the picture. Because leadership in LEAP is the process, the mindset, or quality. And I'd like to show you this small quote that I specially designed for LEAP. You don't climb into leadership, you leap into it with courage, clarity, and cause. If probably I had the clarity initially, I had the courage. I did have the courage, but courage with clarity is a total different ballgame. And I had a clear purpose of why I'm taking this leadership role. Probably my performance, my roadmap, my vision, my purpose, everything would have been different. So now let's look at what LEAP is. So LEAP 3.0 is a premium program, like our district director mentioned. It is a program that is specially designed for you. In fact, it's a flagship program of District 121, whose focus is to create leaders, leadership development and personal advancement. You can go ahead and take up leadership roles in Toastmasters or in your work life, wherever you want to. But it is a leadership development and personal advancement program, and that's the focus. The format is, it's an online training program, which will be completely in English, spanning for 6 months training period, plus 2 months of project period. So the entire program will be for a period of 8 months, including 2 months of capstone project. The purpose is to empower aspiring leaders with foundational and advanced leadership skills that supports your personal growth and professional success. So probably not all of you are very clear on what are the foundational aspects of leadership, and this is the clarity you're going to get. And we'll see what those foundational aspects are, what those advanced leadership skills are. We'll see as we move along. And the beautiful aspect is that it's integrated with pathways. It complements the Toastmasters, not integrated with pathways, it complements the Toastmasters pathways learning experience, and slightly integrated with pathways because it also includes the Pathways Mentor program. And I'd like to ask at this stage, how many of you are Pathways mentors here, certified Pathways mentors? How many of you have finished, or how many of you even know there is something called as a Pathways Mentorship Program? A small path. Okay. Bharadwaj knows it. All right. How many of you? If you can just raise your hand through the, yeah. Okay. We have about 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10, 12,
13 plus.
13 plus. About 13 of us, right? From 93, which is less than 20% of the audience that we have here today. So one of the features here is that when you finish this program, the 8 months program, you also become a Pathways mentor. But that's not the only thing, there's more to it. So the beauty of this program is when you finish it, it's like an added bonus that you also become a Pathways mentor, which gives you a strategic or a kind of a very strategic approach towards becoming a mentor. Now, why should you join LEAP? What will you get from joining LEAP? We are all learning in Toastmasters, but this is a very short-term 6 months program or an 8 months program, which has focused learning, which naturally leads to your growth and recognition. What do I mean by learning? It has modules that are specially catering, modules that are designed to your growth, for your growth. And the recognition that you will get towards the end is we have a team of say 50 or 40 or 50 members here. As a cohort, there will be, you'll get an opportunity to present your final project where you have the top 3 projects that are going to be selected. We will be selecting leapers who are outstanding. There are mentors who are specifically dedicated for the program. Each of the teams will have dedicated mentors who will guide you. You'll also apply it live. So you're not just learning theoretical aspect of it. You also will have small projects as well as the big projects where you'll get an opportunity to apply. And finally, the impact that you create through these projects is enormous because you have an opportunity to create an impact at the club level, at the area level, and not necessarily the district leadership. It also is applicable to your own institution. You can go back to your organization and do these projects where you can be heard, you can be seen, you can be felt. Now, how are we designed? This is just an initial trailer of what this program is. There are 6 different core learning areas. The first one is self-leadership, where you talk about or we learn about who you are as a leader. Understand yourself better. Then when I became a leader, I had absolutely, of course, I knew what leadership is, but I had absolutely no idea how this would help me, how I could apply this in a bigger way, and whether I was even prepared. So this stage will help you understand yourself better as a leader. The second stage is the growth mindset. Now, mindset is everything. And how you do something is how you do everything. And for a leader, resilience, mindset, these are the things that will help you skyrocket. And that is what we're going to learn here. How to lead a leader's mindset. The third one is communication and influence, because an effective leader is the one who can also communicate. But let me give a disclaimer here. We are not going to teach you public speaking here, because you're already doing that in your Pathways program. Here you'll understand how a leader speaks, and you'll get an opportunity to speak like a leader with your vision, with your goals. Finally, when these 3 levels are done, you move into the organizational awareness, because leadership is not a lone journey. You have to be with people. And when you do that, you have to learn to work within systems, within organizations. Now, Toastmasters itself is an organization. When you take up leadership role at the club level or at the district level, you work with people and you have to understand how the system works. And at this stage, you will understand how Toastmasters works, and the mapping of the district leadership will be done, will be clear to you. You'll get clarity here, and you'll understand where you want to be in the bigger scheme of things. How can you plan your journey going forward for the next 6 months, for 1 year? The next is collaboration and conflict. Collaboration is what is the name of the game as we go forward. If you want to be a successful leader, you have to know to collaborate. And conflict management is already a part of the game. As you know, there is going to be conflict when you want to implement your vision. But there is a way to manage these conflicts, and that is what you're going to learn here. Finally, you have an opportunity to leave a legacy. Legacy is understanding change leadership. What is the change that you're going to make? Leadership is fine at your level, at the outside level, but at a bigger impact, how are you going to create the bigger impact? So this is where you're going to learn what kind of a leader you want to be. What is the legacy that you want to leave? Now, this is a program overview that I've already spoken about, so I'm not going to go and delve into it again, but these are the different 6 months with different programs that we have. That is self-leadership. Second level is growth mindset. Third month is communication and influence. Fourth is organizational awareness. Fifth is collaboration and conflict management. Sixth is leading change and leaving a legacy. And finally, the 7th and the 8th month will be the capstone project, each having its own theme and key outcome. Now, all of this is organized under the 7 levels of LEAP framework. Now, what's the point of a framework? Why do we need this pyramid? We're already working under the pyramid. I hope you already know how the Toastmasters pyramid works as far as the structure is concerned. So this is somewhat similar to that. Now, it's human mindset that progress makes you move forward even further, even higher. It encourages you to even move higher. And this level, or these 7 levels of leadership, will show you that you're progressing in this entire leadership journey. And if you look at on the left-hand side, there are some badges. These are the badges that you will get when you complete every single level. Now, these are digital badges that you will get, which you can share on your social media. So you know that you've successfully completed your level 1, then you move on to your level 2 and level 3. But on the right-hand side, if you see, the first 3 levels, that self-leadership, growth mindset, and influence, are categorized under foundational leader, which means the first 3 levels will say that you have completed, will make it clear that you completed the foundational aspect of this LEAP framework, which is leading yourself first. The 3 important aspects: self-leadership, growth mindset, and influencing others. Next is organizational awareness and collaboration, which is leading others. First is leading yourself. Second is leading others, which is relational leader. Finally, the 6th and the 7th is strategic leader, where you will start creating an impact or learn to create an impact. So these are different 7 levels of LEAP framework that we're going to work, and each level will only show that you are progressing to the next level. But I just want to say that this program will only certify you, or finally the certificate entails, or the certificate is given to only those people who complete the entire 8 months of program. It is not when you complete the 6 months and say that I've completed it. The capstone project is mandatory and you have to complete it. Now, what is the time commitment that is required? Because that's very important. When you are going to put in time, you also have the right to know what is the time commitment. And as you see on the screen, 10 hours per month. It's not weeks, it is month. 6 hours is mandatory, where you have live sessions, panel discussions, self-reflections, and peer huddles. I'll talk a little bit about it in the next slide. But additional 4 hours will be required for your independent preparation and reflection. It could be reading books, it could be some assignments where you have to prepare, maybe talk to your mentor, prepare before the session, whatever it is. Keep another 4 hours as a buffer. So 10 hours is safe to say that is required to be invested in this program. What is the schedule that we have? The entire 6 months, the first 6 months of the program will have 12 live sessions, 6 peer huddles. What are peer huddles? You sit with your teammates and discuss certain topics that is already specified in the curriculum. There's one district leaders panel discussion where you'll have the district leaders who've been there and done everything. They'll be able to, they'll discuss on a certain topic and you'll have the opportunity to ask questions. We have another global leaders panel discussion where we'll be talking with international leaders, speaking with international leaders, like it could be an international director, it could be a past international president. So these are the leaders that you'll have. You'll get an opportunity to also interact with them online. Like I mentioned, Pathway Certified Mentor program is which you will be completing during the course of the program. And also personal work and self-reflection, where you'll get into the habit of investing time in your growth. The first session that we're planning to start will be Wednesday, 3rd September 2025, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and everything will be online. It is a 100% online program, so you can learn from the comfort of your home or office. So just take note, 3rd September 2025, Wednesday, 7 to 8:30 p.m. is when we're going to start the first session. This is the timeline, just for your information. July to August will be the timeline when we are going to select the candidates. We're going to put the cohorts together, the trainers, the mentors. September to February is when the training will happen. March to April is when you will execute the capstone project and do your final presentation end of April. And May 1st week is when the graduation will happen. And during which time we're going to announce the top 3 winning projects. Now, the lead composition, the team composition will be as follows: maximum 50 students, 10 teams, and 5 students per team. And that gives you enough scope to experiment, get opportunities, take initiatives, and do not the theoretical aspect, but also the practical aspect. So it'll be 10 teams, max 50 students. So if there are lesser teams also, it'll be in the multiples of 10. And if there are lesser members also, it will be in the multiples of 10. So what is the criteria to join LEAP? How many of you want to know the criteria? I want to know. I think you'll have not answered now. It's been a while. So I want you to tell me in the chat box, how many of you are interested and really want to know the criteria? Right, we have quite a few. So the first criteria is you have to be a member in good standing for minimum 1 year. And you have to be a member of District 121 because this is open to members of District 121. Willing to commit for 8 continuous months plus 10 hours per month, because there's a whole team that's behind you who's investing their time and effort in your growth, and therefore your commitment is imperative. It is non-negotiable, and therefore willing to commit for 8 continuous months plus 10 hours per month is important. You would have served in an ExCom role for at least 6 months term, preferably President, VP, and VPM. However, this is not a mandatory criteria. But why we're saying President, VP, and VPM is by this time you would have had an exposure to the area council, because President, VP, VPM are members of the area council, and the President and VP are the members of the district council. And therefore, there is some kind of an exposure to a leadership role at a higher level. And therefore, we're saying preferably President, VP, and VPM. But if you're in any other role and you've demonstrated significant leadership prowess, please feel free to come forward and put in your application. We're also looking for candidates who have demonstrated commitment to leadership outside the club. What do I mean by that? You probably have taken as a contest chair in some other club. You would have served in an extended team. It could be at the area or the district team. Done some projects which are quite significant. Now, this is not only in Toastmasters. Even at your workplace, if you have demonstrated some significant leadership initiative, please put that in the application. It's important that you complete at least one part. Recently, someone told me, I have one speech to finish. So complete it fast and then apply for this program. Now, one path is important because I don't know how many of you are aware that in order to be a certified pathways mentor, it's important to complete one path, and therefore this is also important. And it also shows how much of time you're investing in your growth and in the right direction. Since it's an online club, since it's an online program in English, we would prefer someone who is comfortable in technology and fluent in English. If you're comfortable, when I say fluent in English, someone who's comfortable speaking and also understands English comfortably. So these are the 6 criteria that we're looking at. And obviously, we will be speaking to you, interviewing you as the time passes. What's the transformation that is in store for you? I'm not promising that you'll be a Superman and a Spider-Man, but this is simply to say that you must have seen the flyer which says that transformation, leadership transformation. And therefore, I want you Communication mastery, when I say communication, it's going to sharpen your ability to influence others. Again, I say this is not a public speaking course per se, because that's already done in the Toastmasters pathways. But this is where you learn how to inspire the audience with a vision, with a purpose. Again, there'll be leadership presents, because you will be doing activities and challenges that'll help you to establish yourself. So leadership presents is going to be there. And obviously, you'll have to execute and take accountability of your progress. While there are going to be mentors, there are coordinators who are here, but then your growth is your responsibility, and therefore accountability is very important. Again, you're exposed to a mentorship and community, a community of like-minded people who are going to work with you, peers who are going to help you grow together, and mentors who are going to be with you during the process. Now let's meet the team, because they say a teamwork is what makes the dream work. Teamwork is what makes the dream work. And we have a dream team together here. And I'd like to take, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce them, because they have also started with a lot of energy and they're here to support you. So if I can request someone to pin Daryl, spotlight Daryl, while I introduce you. Now, this is a face I think is quite common. I think people know who this person is, but still, I will be introducing you. Daryl. Daryl is a Toastmaster for 6 years. Currently, he's a member of VR Advanced Toastmasters, Let's Debate, and Champion Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club. He is the co-founder and charter president of Let's Debate Toastmasters. And Daryl is a 4-time Triple Crown winner, Distinguished Area Director, and President's Distinguished Division Director, and immediate past District Public Relations Manager of District 121. He's a recent MBA graduate from Christ University, Bangalore, and currently works as a senior associate at One Lattice. He will be serving as the cohort and mentor coordinator, facilitating seamless communication between mentors and participants, tracking progress, and ensuring every cohort member receives the right guidance and support throughout the LEAP 3.0 journey. Thank you, Daryl, and it's a pleasure to have you in our team. Welcome aboard. Next is the Learning and Development Coordinator. We have with us Renu Richel Raju. Renu, please, can you highlight or spotlight Renu, please? Renu Richel Raju is a talent development professional with over a decade of experience working in Dubai. For the past 5 years, she's based in Kochi while working independently on learning and development projects across the globe. She's a member of CAS Curators Club, a club based in Cochin, Kerala, where she's serving as its Vice President membership. She will be serving as a Learning and Development Coordinator, curating impactful learning experiences, organizing training sessions, and ensuring that participants gain practical skills and insights throughout the LEAP 3.0 program. Thank you very much, Renu, and welcome aboard. We can give all of them a huge round of applause, because they're going to work with you. If you're going to be a future leaper, you'll have to clap for them. All right, we have with us Ramya Bachu here, Systems and Planning Coordinator. Can we spotlight Ramya? All right, thank you. Ramya Bachu is a member of All Women and Entrepreneurs Toastmasters Club in Bangalore, registered in Bangalore, and currently serves as a Vice President Education. She has previously held roles as President, VP Membership, and VP Public Relations. A professional SEO content writer, Ramya joined Toastmasters in 2022 and has since aligned her journey with personal and professional growth. In 23-24, she served as the Area Director for Area 1, Division I, District 121, leading the area to President's Distinguished status. A huge round of applause. She's also been a club sponsor, club mentor, and is the recipient of the Star Trainer and Champion Mentor Awards. Ramya is a persuasive influence pathbreaker and a 2-time Triple Crown awardee. She will be handling the systems and planning in LEAP 3.0, ensuring that the program is executed smoothly, efficiently, and with a strong focus on structure, timelines, and visibility. Warm welcome, Ramya, and really glad to have you on board. Before we leave, great leaders aren't born, they are built one leap at a time. But the question is, Do you want to take that leap? Here's a QR code that you can scan and start applying. Put in your applications at the earliest because the last day to put in your application is August 5th, 2025. The registration link is also posted in the chat box. You can also use the registration link or scan this QR code and put in your application. Now let's move on to that. That's the end of the session. So we can now clap for finishing the session. And we can now move on to the question and answer session. If there are any questions, or should I give it back to you, Daryl, or should I continue with the Q&A?
Ramya will take care of it.
All right, okay. So back to you, Daryl.
You can hand it over to Ramya to take care
All
of
right.
the questions.
Ramya,
Yes.
over to you.
Yep. Hello, everyone. I see some questions in the chat already. We'll start with them and we'll have our chair, Distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty, answering them all. So the first question, if any one of you have any other questions, please start posting. Meanwhile, I will pick the first question for the session.
Okay.
Okay, the question is, what about the associate roles? So we talked about the club officer positions.
Yeah.
Whether club associate roles also are eligible.
It will be eligible for the additional district leadership or the leadership that you've demonstrated, but one of the criteria is to serve as a club officer. So probably when you serve as a club officer, you could, I mean, in the future, you could probably think of applying for this position.
Okay. The next question, I hope
this
it has an
proposal.
answer. Yeah. So the next question, we have Rachna asking this question. Do we finish this in 6 months or even this is a deadline independent program? Like a pathway, probably.
Which one? The LEAP program?
Yeah, the LEAP program.
LEAP program is an 8-month program which has a set schedule. All right. I've already shown you the timelines. It will finish by April end. And May 1st week is the graduation. It is independent of the Pathways program, but it is a District 121 initiative. But it has set timelines. So you will have to follow the timeline. And therefore, you'll have to be very clear if you can provide or you can dedicate the 10 hours per month for the program.
Thank you. Hope this has answered your question, Rachna. Ramya Jagdish has asked this question. Will LEAP 3.0 help in my work life even if I'm a non-people manager? Will LEAP 3.0 help in my work life even if I'm not a non-people manager? Even if I'm a non-people manager?
When you say non-people manager, you mean to say you're not in your organization? That's what you're saying? You can unmute her. I don't know where she is. If you can
Ramya
unmute
Jagdish,
her.
are you there? Okay, maybe we can consider it like this, whether it will help them in their work life.
Definitely, because we've made it very clear. Our district director also has made it very clear. This program is a leadership program. We are going to talk about Toastmasters in this in the 4th month, but ideally this is to develop your leadership skills.
Yeah. Okay. The next question is from DJ's Toastmaster Roslyn. What if we have not completed even one path?
Then you'll have to complete that path. Simple as that. All right. Okay. Just going back to the first question that was there. The current club officers who have not completed 6 months, you could also apply. We can consider that as well. You could go ahead and apply if you're a current club officer who does not have a previous track record of completing 6 months. All right.
I'm a VPPR. Sujit Venugopal is saying, I'm a VPPR. Can I apply?
Yes, absolutely. You're a club officer, right? You've already served as a club officer or a current club officer. You can still apply.
Sujit, the link is right there in the chat. Please apply. Saranan is saying, I've completed 6 months with the Toastmasters Club and currently serving as the Vice President membership. Am I eligible? Yes. Yeah.
Right. Ramya has answered the question.
Only 6 months into the club. Maybe that's why he has a question.
Yes. So there are criteria which is clearly mentioned. If you plan to complete the level, the path, right? If you plan to complete the path before August end, you can also apply.
Is the current director eligible to participate in the program? Gokul, District Toastmaster Gokul Menon.
We would love to have you, Gokul, but who's going to lead us if you're going to be a part of the program?
I think we'll get a double leap.
Yes.
If we miss live sessions, do we get recorded sessions? Piyush Balai.
Piyush, I would love to do that, but unfortunately, this is the live session won't be. It will be recorded, but we will not give you this the recording immediately. It will be given later. But during the program, we want you to be there physically and attend the programs because there's an entire team that is putting a lot of hard work into it, and you'll have to commit to your own growth. If you're not able to attend, then probably you're not ready to commit to your growth. So you'll have to wait and probably apply later.
Okay, will it be on Wednesdays? Rosmi Valavi. Will it be on Wednesdays? Will it
Yes,
always be on Wednesdays?
So just before I answer that question, so going back to Piyush, if there's an emergency which is justified, then yes, right? If there's a medical condition, for example, and you can justify that, yes, but it obviously shouldn't be a continuous affair. Sorry, what was that question, Ramya?
Will it always be on Wednesdays?
That's the plan.
Okay. Rosmi, I hope you've heard this. Block your Wednesdays. Ananya is asking, it's my first SAA. I got selected without any experience. Am I eligible?
You could apply and see Ananya, right?
Yeah, Ananya.
You could apply and see Ananya and go through the interview process. You never know if you've completed one part and plan to complete it at least.
Okay. Kavya is asking, I have completed level 4 and planning to complete my path by August end. Will I be eligible for this program?
Yeah, so like I said, we could, you could apply. If you're planning to complete it, probably
By August end.
By August end, when did you start the path? What is the level that you are in now?
She has completed level 4 now.
Level 4, so she has just one path. I mean, one level rather. So we'll park this question. Maybe I can get back to you on that. So Ramya, we could probably take her details and get back to her.
Kavya, you can still apply.
Yeah, go ahead and apply.
Okay.
Safir is smiling. Is there a question, Safir?
No, I was thinking, is there a benefit for fastest finger first? Because I think Bharadwaj have said that I have applied.
Okay.
Jyotika.
Carry on. Bharadwaj, the good news is there are candidates before you already. So so I don't know if that's eligible, but please go ahead. We'd love to have your application with us. Please go ahead and apply.
Jyotika.
Yes, Lyra.
PTAT has its meetings on Wednesday.
Oh, then you'll have to change the meeting of PTAT.
No way. CK Ballal will butcher. CK Ballal is free only on Wednesday. He chartered the club.
All right. Okay, that was just a joke. Okay.
Okay. Great. Leadership outside club, does that entire outside Toastmasters or within District 121 or TI only?
Sorry, I didn't get that. I'm so sorry.
Anmol is asking this question. Leadership outside club, what does this mean? Does that entire outside Toastmasters or within District 121 or TI only?
No, you work, for example, Anmol, your professional level, I mean, at the professional, I mean, your office, work-wise, or it could be a community. You've taken the leadership at the community level to do something different, impact the community. So that's also leadership.
Okay. One more question. Okay, then.
Right.
Okay, this one is, I may not be able to complete my Pathways project by August 25th. Is it possible to get an extension or additional time? Current status is about to finish my level 1. Saravanan Prakasam.
Wow. Saravanan, maybe you can focus on completing your path, and then, because it could probably be a little overwhelming, so I would say that you focus on completing your speeches, and then you could maybe next year you could try applying for. I mean, that if the program is there, I don't assure you. So
Embodying one of our core values of Toastmasters, integrity. Sujit is saying my first pathways last speech is tomorrow, so I apply
wow,
tomorrow?
absolutely, absolutely.
Great. So these are the questions we have so far. Have I missed anybody's questions? What pathway mentor mini path means? Akhilandeshwari is asking. Pathway mentor mini path means.
Okay, so I don't know. I mean, I think quite a few of you know here, 15 to 20 members who were already doing the part. So there is a part where in level 2, there is a speech called mentor or mentoring, right? So when you finish that, there is a part that already, there's a mini part that is there, which automatically opens up for you to do. So there are 3 speeches in that. It's not a mandatory part. It's an optional part that you can continue the mentoring to becoming a mentor. So you give your mentor speech, which is the speech in level 2, and then you can continue it by the first speech is assessing whether you're ready to start mentoring. The second is short-term mentoring, where you can mentor someone for a speech, a short term, and then is advanced mentoring for a 6 months period. So this is already available in your pathways. So if you've completed your mentoring speech, you can probably go and check it out. Or you can reach out to your VP Education, who probably can give you some more idea on that.
Yeah, that is it. We have no more questions left in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, and pathways mentor, Gokul mentioned, that pathways, it's a free path. You don't have to pay for it. It's available for everyone. But the only condition is for you to be certified, you have to complete one full path. That's a requirement.
I see a lot of regretful faces, but please do.
Why? Why?
Many
Why?
have
Why?
not completed their paths.
Okay, so what do I say? We're starting in September. So by August, if you can manage to complete, I mean, if you're still in your level 1, then probably it could be a little difficult.
Any other questions about assignments, the project? Karthik is asking.
But what I said, yeah. So I think there are a lot of members here who are interested to apply for the program, but the criteria is the one path that is there. What I suggest is that go ahead and apply, and we can always come back to you, because we're also going to gain some clarity, because now we understand that there are a lot of members here who are in a similar situation. So we could definitely relook at it. I could talk to our district director as well as our program quality director, and we can definitely come back to you. So Ramya, if you can take their numbers, or I think we can get the recording of the chat, we can always have their, but please go ahead and apply.
Yeah.
And Jyotika, let them apply, and let them also mention that this is the current educational, which I believe is part of the registration link itself.
Yeah.
And then depending on the overall interest and number of people and all, we can take a decision on that.
All right. Great. Okay. Fantastic.
Okay,
We
we
can
have
do that.
Karthik, Sauj, Kavya looking for reconsideration of the criteria, and it's happening. Chill. Yep. Okay. Pavitra has a question. Could you provide some details of sample capstone project? I also see the red card. The timer is showing. So Jyotika, your call.
Yeah, right. I actually had that slide, but I removed it because Ramya only gave me 30 minutes. So I didn't put that in there. Okay, so I'm going to show you some capstone project samples, although it is not restricted to only these projects. Just give me a minute, please.
Meanwhile, how's the Josh, guys? I have registered. Oh, that's amazing. That's the Josh we want. And I see Pandya blossoming with hearts. Safir sir with his evergreen smile. Ira, dashing smile again. Bharadwaj, full on energy.
Ramya, this is one of our flagship programs this year.
Amazing.
And I'm happy at the attendance at this meeting, the level of interest that is coming up. Really excited.
At one point, we had 100 people. The
I
highest.
know.
Oh, really? I
Yes.
didn't see that. I mean, I was all right. I don't know who asked this question, but this will be applicable or relevant to all. So here are some projects. These are just examples. These are not. This is not the final thing. Nor will we restrict you to do only these. You can always put in your proposal, and we'll look at the proposal. So some examples are like reviving a low energy club. Now you're not expected to go and uh, uh, a work that's there for 6 months, you do it in 2 months. No, but you have to put together an engagement campaign, inviting guests. So something credible. So it has to be tangible. It has to yield results as well. Next one is a mentorship program. Like a lot of clubs do not have mentorship programs. So put the entire framework together with the process, that is the documentation, the onboarding process, the pairing, the tracking, all of the entire process has to be put together, which should help the club. Next is a mini speechcraft. Organize 2 or 3 public speaking sessions for college students. It could be even your company, for example, and get some credible results out of it. It could be a lead. It could be something that that is credible and supports your cause. Next is club officer training enhancement. For example, you have something resource you want to help the club officers in a certain way. Obviously, this is subject to approval from our program quality director. But for example, creating a learning resource where you have a video, a guide, and you support the officers in your club or your area. This is the club level, right? This is the division and the area level project. For example, you have the Toastmasters awareness campaign. You lead a PR social media initiative. Now, this is not an initiative which is a very low level initiative. It has to be a very significant initiative that is credible, yield results, significant results. Conducting a multi-club online event, like you bring about 10 clubs together or 5 clubs together, a major event that you conduct not only in the district, you get members from outside as well, clubs outside the country or outside the district as well. You host a leadership forum, for example, a panel discussion, and you're a part of that. Yeah, that helps you in your professional growth and it brings some leaders together. Design a DTM mentorship initiative, for example. Have some DTMs together who can inspire new aspiring leaders. These are some community and professional impact projects. This is nothing to do with Toastmasters. So you conduct a leadership workshop in your workplace or college. Again, this has to yield credible results, not just going and conducting the event. There has to be a purpose, clear purpose. Next is create a leadership kit resource. It could be a digital guide, a podcast, a blog series, anything that is relevant. You see, when I say it is complementing the pathways, your current program is podcast, as you know, is already a learning. It is a project in, it's an elective actually in pathways. So you can make use of that project here. Also, public speaking program for youth NGOs. Organize a session for schools where Toastmasters or gets visibility. Now, this is a community project, so you can do a public speaking program. Lead a team project that is within Toastmasters or outside. You manage or execute a meaningful project. It could be a major event, a campaign, an awareness drive. It could be an awareness drive. For example, last time we did an awareness drive in the shopping malls where we had very good footfall and people came to know what Toastmasters is. So it could be for your own cause. It could be for Toastmasters. So these are some examples that are there, but not restricted to these.
Thank you. And any other questions, you can drop in the chat. We will reach out to you and answer. With this, we end the Q&A session. Over to the MC, Daryl.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this has been very insightful. Let's give our lead chair, distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika, a huge round of applause. And let's not stop the applause there. Let's keep the applause going for my co-coordinators, Toastmaster Ramya, who moderated the question and answer session, and our timer, Toastmaster Reenu. Huge round of applause for both of them. Well, it's not over until we capture your commitment and your growth. Today, it's your presence here. And for that, I'm going to ask you to switch on your cameras, flash those leapy smiles, not sleepy, okay? Leapy smiles. And I'm going to ask Ramya to do the honors of clicking the group picture. You're on mute,
So,
Ramya,
District
if you're
Director,
speaking.
Yep. I am there. I am already on it. Come on, please flash your favorite smiley. Be as weird as possible. Lead with a crazy smiley.
Should we say L? L? How do we do that? No, like this. L.
Okay. All right. L.
L.
Okay, ready, everyone?
Ramya, the people are coming online. Give a few seconds.
Yeah. There is one screen that I can capture now.
Okay.
Okay, ready? 1. Safir sir, L.
Okay, I'm also trying to take a photograph.
I'm doing it while showing, so please. Okay. 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, clicking one more. I see Gokul here. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Gokul, can you just raise your hand and come to the first window? District Director Gokul. Yes. Now we can see. Your video is turned off. I can't see. Okay. Ready with L, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Smiles captured successfully.
All right. Thank you so much, Ramya. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I think if I were to take back one statement from today, it would be leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. As we look forward to Cummins Leap 3.0, an 8-month program, I'm sure to become a safe space where members will discover their strengths, learn through action, and rise as impactful leaders. I'd like to leave you with this short thought. Where a young boy once asked his mentor, "How do I become a great leader?" The mentor replied, "Start by leading yourself with clarity, consistency, and courage. Once you do that, others will follow you naturally." Tonight, each of you is intending to take that first step, that first leap towards leading yourself so that you can lead others. Thank you for being a part of this session. Yes, friends, the future leaders of our district are in this room right now. With that, I think it's safe to call it a night. But if anybody has any closing remarks, Jyotika, do you have any closing remarks?
I'd like to hear from our district director.
Thank you so much, Jyotika, Daryl, Ramya, and on a lighter note, Rinu, who always kept her hand up, but no one called her. So all the four of you, thank you so much for organizing Leap. We heard the response of our members. More importantly, we saw how excited they are, the Jyotika and team, because we were always excited about Leap. Now we know how District 121 is also super enthused to know more about Leap and take part in the same. So looking forward to a wonderful program, which I'm sure all of you will organize for our district. Let's look forward to an amazing, impactful year ahead through Leap 3.0. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining in large number. 100 is what Ramya mentioned, and I did notice that too. This is one of the largest we have had in the last 3 program years. I was a trio member of. So it's super amazing to see that Leap 3.0 made this possible. Wonderful going. Happy to see so many in numbers on a Tuesday evening. It's not even a weekend. It's a Tuesday evening, but so happy to see many of you here. Thank you so much for joining in for this event.
Thank you, everyone. It was a wonderful
I think
evening.
we can stop the recording and the room is